Hey, it's Wednesday, November the 12th, 2025. My name is Thom Rigsby. Welcome to your AmCon Daily Brief. On today's show, why training together builds not just skill, but confidence, and calm when it counts. But first, let's get you up to speed with the latest from your ASAT team and the Daily Sit Rep.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for November the 12th, 2025. Up first today, a global surge in chronic kidney disease has pushed it into the top 10 causes of death worldwide. There are now 788 million reported cases, with 14% of adults showing reduced kidney function. Early detection is critical, as the disease often has no symptoms in its initial stages. Health professionals urge regular screening, especially for those with diabetes or high blood pressure, and recommend lifestyle changes such as maintaining a healthy diet, regular exercise, and avoiding smoking and excessive alcohol to slow disease progression. In other news, hundreds of flights have been canceled across the United States as air traffic controllers continue to work without pay due to the government shutdown. This has led to a temporary reduction in flight operations, with the aviation industry anticipating it may take several days after the shutdown ends to return to normal schedules. Further impacting aviation, the Department of Transportation and the Federal Aviation Administration have announced a temporary 10% reduction in flights at 40 major airports to support airspace safety during the ongoing shutdown. These measures include limiting some visual flight rule approaches and restricting certain commercial space activities, all aiming to maintain safety amid staffing constraints. Turning to a broader topic, food security is increasingly recognized as a national security issue. Historical and current events demonstrate how food insecurity can be exploited by hostile groups to gain influence and control. In the U.S., food security remains crucial for national stability, while globally, conflicts such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine have disrupted food supplies and raised prices, contributing to unrest in vulnerable regions. Locally, there are reports of protests and civil unrest in several areas. Residents are advised to maintain situational awareness, be cautious when attending public events, and report any suspicious activity to authorities and the AISAT team. Notable protests are scheduled today in cities including Burbank, California, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Albany, New York, and Oneonta, New York. Now for the weather. Temperatures will moderate in the eastern U.S., while the west and central regions warm up. Snow will continue across the lower Great Lakes and parts of the interior Northeast and New England. A strong cyclone forming off the west coast is expected to bring heavy rainfall, mountain snow, and strong winds starting tonight. A frigid air mass will keep colder conditions across much of the eastern United two-thirds of the country early this week, with record lows possible in the southeast and Florida. Additionally, severe geomagnetic storm conditions have been observed and are expected to continue into tonight, potentially impacting communications and electrical systems. Looking ahead on the AmCon calendar, on November the 15th, there will be two noteworthy events: a free immunity building workshop in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, where participants can learn to make natural remedies to boost their immune systems, and the Broward County, Florida chapter's monthly meetup in Sunrise, Florida, focusing on the preparedness mindset. Another immunity building workshop is scheduled again in Berkeley Springs on November the 19th. That concludes today's top stories. Members can access the American Contingency Members Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
You know, yesterday we talked about teamwork through the lens of service, how veterans model the kind of trust and discipline that holds communities together. Today I want to build on that by talking about what keeps a team sharp, training together. Because nothing builds readiness faster than shared practice. Here's the truth. Training isn't about checking boxes. It's about building confidence through repetition. Every time you practice a skill, whether it's first aid, comms, home defense, you reduce the friction between I know what to do and I did it. But when you practice together, that confidence multiplies. You learn each other's strengths and weaknesses and tendencies. You learn who stays calm under pressure, who needs a nudge, and who can take the lead when it counts. That's why shared training matters so much with ReadyCorps. Because when the storm hits or the lights go out, you don't want to be meeting your teammates for the first time in the dark. You want to know who's got the generator, who knows first aid, who can handle comms, and who's watching the kids. That kind of coordination does not happen by accident. It is built through practice. And here's the part lots of people overlook. Training isn't just about learning skills, it's about learning each other. Every drill, every exercise, every retro builds trust. It's not about being perfect. It's about being prepared together. So if you've ever felt like your team isn't quite clicking, don't wait for a crisis to fix it. It won't get better. Get together, practice, laugh through the mistakes. That's how you build the muscle memory of resilience, by doing it side by side. This week, I want you to schedule one shared training activity with your family, or even better, your neighbors, your neighborhood team. It doesn't have to be big. Run a comms check, practice lighting the backup stove, or review your storm plan together. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's participation. All right, when we chat tomorrow, we'll talk about what happens when plans meet people and how trust and flexibility turn preparation into performance. Well, that wraps up today's AmCon Daily Brief. Thanks for listening. Members, you'll find extended resources on our members-only website and in your phone app. And if you're not a member of the community yet, head over to AmericanContingency.com and take the first step. If this brief helped you, please do me a favor and pass it along to someone in your circle. I'm Thom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.